know. Niggas know how I'm bumming, nigga. Yeah. Fuck what a nigga say, I feel like Dre. Man, the game is thick. Suckers wanna play and load my K until that bitch click. Big stick, hanging out the bottom of my 4-5. No lie, if I whip it out, somebody gon' die. Only time you hard is on the gram when you go live. Flexing with a tube but never blam, I'ma blow mine. Won't show mine until it's go time. Nah, you can't hold mine. Yeah, I got the whole mine, I'm on the goal line. And I'm going for 6, watch me up the scope. Caught him at the stove, he was with his hoe. Had to let him know, that's your ass, you don't get it past. You reap what you sow. Why you speaking low? Speak up, boy, you been a hoe. Boy, you been a bitch, get off dick, tryna steal my drip. Look up in the air, you see me, I'm fly as bird shit. Never on no nerd shit, why you on that lame shit? You don't want no smoke, you get smoke with who you hang with. You know what I'm saying? Lame ass niggas talking about they on some gang shit. Nigga, you's a bitch, nigga. Matter of fact, nigga, you's a hoe. Nah, you ain't no hoe, cause hoes get dope. Man, that pussy ass a cat.
We fucking live, my niggas.
Walk, tell him free to act. Dealing free a rat, you know he told how you sleep with. What's good, y'all? It's the Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast, man. It's your boy Guccini JD, aka Heart2Start JD. The boy to my left.
Who the boy to your left? Oh, I'm the left. I'm a little fucked up right now, y'all. I just
fucked up emotionally,
I'm
right?
fucked up in fantasy. Hey, like we said all the time, man. You could win every league, but lose AOB and be sick like you lost all of them. But it's your boy, man. Heart2Start Kev. Like I said, the best that ever did it. They got away with it.
Champ. What you mean by that? What's the best you ever did?
Everything, bro. Everything I do is grande, and I get away with it. You know, it's an insider, but you know the real ones will understand. You know,
I thought you was gonna say. I thought it was fantasy football related.
I mean, it's life related, but it is fantasy football related. You know what I mean?
It's Brody Cortez, though, man. I'm a little, I'm good. I'm happy to be back. I'm back.
He got some bass in his voice a little bit.
I'm happy to be back. Not only on the show, I was gone last week. I'm happy to be back in AOB, though. I'm back. But I've been saying that.
Who hotter than me? Who hotter than me? Y'all remember that fly song?
Bro, I know y'all remember. If you've been tapping in with the show, I know y'all remember. They've been on my head for the last few weeks. These niggas done had the foreigns now. Foreign's been repoed.
I made a trade. Everybody I traded, AOB get hurt, man. I'm AOB cursed.
Hey, tap in with the podcast on Wednesday when we live. And if you made a trade, ask him if Kev made the trade. Because if Kev made the trade, don't trade for that nigga. Because something finna happen.
Nah, it's only when they're on my team.
I know, but somebody else
that person
owner
gets hurt.
finna go. Yeah, so niggas is,
you feel me?
Whoever just got Galladay, it's your fault.
Damn.
We gotta have
Oh,
a kid.
you right.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
So for the viewers,
we gotta have a segment for y'all. You know what I mean?
The Kev segment or something.
Damn it.
Damn. That's crazy. But now look, man, like you said, the Heart2Start podcast. We're doing it a little bit different this week. I hope y'all go check out that swim and swerve that we had last week that we put up. That will help. That will carry you on through some weeks for sure. This week we also going to do it a little different. We're going to bring y'all the matchups, the recap matchups tonight, and then we're going to give y'all some wire picks. And then we'll come back with y'all live on StreamYard on Wednesday night, and we'll give y'all some matchup talk, some headlines to look out for the week. And we're also going to be doing our rest of the season rankings. So that'll be a cool little debate, and you know what I mean, how we do,
Because the trade deadline coming up.
Trade deadline. In some leagues it's 14. Some leagues it's something different. It's just a little different in all of them. You know what I mean? But it's the season. You know what I mean? All this shit is pertinent. For sure. But let's talk about that first game that happened, that Thursday night clunker. I know I had a lot of people playing in that game. In a lot of different leagues, the Mike Davises, the
Robbie Anderson,
the DJ Moores. It was a little ugly. It was a Thursday night, what they usually are. It's either somebody's really happy or really sad, and then you gotta wait till Saturday. In my case, I was really sad. You know what I mean? But you gotta get through this shit. But Teddy B, they were sending the blitz on him. They were on his bumper.
I mean, their front seven is solid. Like, you can't really sleep on Philly in their front seven.
Atlanta. Carolina.
Yeah, no, definitely it was a hell of a game, though. I mean, with
when Atlanta was finna go for it on 4th down and Raheem pulled the cord on not going for it and kicking that 3, I think it kind of set the tone. Even though it wasn't an aggressive play, but it set the tone that they was here to win. Even though, I mean, just by taking them points.
Yeah.
You know, and Matt Ryan, I think he came back. I don't know if it was the next possession or a few possessions after that when he came around on that 20-yard run. And it showed that, you know, they went into Carolina to come play, though, you know. Atlanta's not a bad team. I know their record might say that, you know, might beg the difference. But, I mean, if you look at Atlanta as a whole and what they can do, Atlanta's not a bad team. It's just, I mean, fantasy-wise, you know, they getting you some numbers and whatnot. But, I mean.
Still like a top 8 offense.
Yeah, the motherfuckers, man.
The defense that's bad.
Yeah, shit is just, you know, shit ain't been breaking right for them. I mean, it broke right on Thursday night. But, you know, I mean, my biggest thing was how Carolina was using fucking Curtis Samuel. His first touchdown, he ran right up the motherfucking gut on their ass. It wasn't no sneaky ass, you know, trick play or nothing like that. They ran that boy right up through that.
And then he did have a trick play too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
He had a trick play too.
He had the little,
He had a little trick play.
Yeah,
too.
but what I'm talking about his first touchdown,
the
way they ran his ass up the gut like he's a 240-pound running back instead of a 6'1", 6-foot receiver that's 190, 200 pounds.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You
for
know
sure,
what I mean?
Sure.
I mean,
his last 2 weeks was 16 and 21 fantasy points.
He's
He
like
going. He kind of took Robbie's spot the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but see, Robbie's still. I mean, Robbie's shit is still there. Even when Teddy Bridgewater went out and they brought P.J. Walker in, the first play that P.J. Walker went to was motherfucking Robbie Anderson, and he just missed him.
Oh, he stayed
everything,
Robbie gonna
you
be
know.
open.
But yeah, I think one of the top wire targets is Curtis Samuel, just based on how they've been using him and whatnot. You know what I mean? I
don't know. McCaffrey coming back.
McCaffrey
I
coming
don't know they're gonna be just using them like that. You know what I mean? But I mean,
I think McCaffrey helps everybody else out too, though.
I mean, he's it's bye weeks and it's that time where you might need to go grab him because he'll be very valuable if something were to happen with that. But it's with their quarterback play too. I think they still are not out of it. You know what I mean? They actually have a pretty good offense with McCaffrey coming back. We still haven't even seen what Teddy B can do with McCaffrey.
Yeah,
so,
they still in it for sure.
You know, I think it might change. The offense might change because we've only seen one game with McCaffrey and Teddy Bridgewater. Right?
Yeah.
He got hurt game 1. You know what I mean? And it looked good. So I like for the Panthers to get back on track. You know what I mean? I think this game was a. You know, it was a division game, and they were sending the blitz. Like, we about to test Teddy. You know, we played against him when he was in the Saints.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get on him, make him throw, make him make the right decision. And Matt Ryan was 21 for 30 with 281 yards, no touchdowns, an interception. A lot of his yards came early, too, it seemed like, to Julio. He had, like, 4 catches to Julio at the beginning.
Yeah, that first drive, Julio was bullying whoever was on him. Oh, my mommy, he was. He had a fucking comeback route and a fucking deep end route where, I mean, he just ran over the motherfucker when he caught the ball, bro.
He might, if he get traded, whoever got him is gonna be. I think they might trade him.
Yeah, I mean,
Julio.
I don't know if they might trade him.
I just think who's gonna trade for him though? Because at the end of the day, he still is a 32-year-old receiver in his prime. Like.
A contender with
somebody that want to win now.
Yeah, a contender.
You know what I mean?
I mean, without a doubt. Fuck Fuller going to Green Bay. That's where
Julio
need to go to.
Yeah, the Green Bay, that'd be stupid.
Everything that'd be nasty, bro.
Should have fucking drafted a wide receiver. Fuck it, all the rookie wide receivers are pretty much balling right now. Like, you know, Reader just came back. We'll get into them. So
Ayuk is balling.
You know what I mean? Balling. We'll get to them.
That boy is nice, bro.
We'll get to them though. But in this game, also the run game, you seen Gurley go out for a long stretch, and he wasn't hurt. You know what I mean?
Brian Hill had a great game.
He was bursting.
Great, buddy. You know,
he was looking like with the most burst. You know what I mean? 11 for 55. 11 for 55. They still gave Gurley 18 carries. You know, he had a touchdown. Yeah. Matt Ryan actually ran for a touchdown. My correction, ran for 27 yards actually.
Yeah, nice.
But on the flip side, Ridley goes down. He's hurt. Looks like an ankle injury for a minute. That's a big blow to anybody who had him because you depend on him for sure. Hayden Hurst came through with a solid little 10 fantasy points. Hayden Hurst might be somebody that you kind of got to have because tight ends are fucked up right now. Kittle just got hurt. You only got Kelsey and Waller that's down there for sure. And even Waller is up and down sometimes based on how the game is going. So, you know, it's slim pickings with tight ends. You better hold on to one if you got a good one, or maybe try to go look to get one. I just made a trade in the Heart2Start League. Shout out to Zach. He gave me Kelsey, Lockett, and Swift for Zeke, Scary Terry, and somebody. And I had to take it because I don't believe in Zeke like that. And I'm like, let me go grab it.
You know I'd have been fucked if I had like the number 3 pick or 2 pick.
He was safe though with Dak was there. That's
for sure.
Fucked up. You know what I mean? It's crazy how much that. Ooh, we ain't gonna talk about that. On the flip side, like we said, Bridgewater with 176, a touchdown, and interception. Mike Davis' experiment is over. He still averaged 5 yards a carry that game, but they really didn't use him like that, like they were using him.
He knew that it was his last
game. You know, McCaffrey he will be back. DJ, all the receivers were quiet. Like we said, Curtis Samuel was the only fantasy relevant wide receiver on the Panthers. You know, and that's just what you got with that game. So I think Robbie Anderson and Moore will bounce back for sure. It's crazy because Moore, I watched that. Well, we all watched this on Thursday, but. DJ Moore, he only had 2 catches, but like he was open. A lot of the plays they ran, like he was running a cross route and he was wide open, like at least 2 times. Even the announcer said something. I'm like, damn, Teddy's just looking to the left and he's looking that way. Like he was wide open. You know what I mean? Especially so, you know, they'll get it together. They on a bye, right? No, they play this week. They play this week. We'll talk about that in matchups. Yeah, that's, you know, man, Atlanta can run off some games. You know what I mean? It's more seeds for the playoffs now. So, you know.
So when they just made that change?
Yeah, in the offseason.
Oh, in the offseason they made it. Oh, okay.
Let's talk about one of the ones that was the game of the week that really was the game of the week to me. The Steelers and the Ravens.
Yeah, that's the story. I thought Tennessee was better than them when I was on here 2 weeks ago. But Pittsburgh they just got better getting Avery Williamson, so they on the tear right now.
Yeah, they is. Pittsburgh is definitely looking good without a doubt. I mean that defense when I can't even think of the fella's name that started it off with the pick 6, but he
was
just
it Mika?
Who?
Was it Mika?
No, it was a linebacker filling in for
Bush.
For Bush on everything, a white dude. Even though, you know, that, I mean, he read that completely and jumped all over, and that's what kicked it off for Pittsburgh on everything. But Big Ben having subpar games, even though he don't got to throw for the 300 like how he used to back in the days. It's just Pittsburgh as an overall team. They balling, and they defense is putting up 18, 19s, and 17s. You know, they outscoring some of the big dogs that you drafted early. You know, so
Pittsburgh is one of those teams that I wouldn't mind seeing them win a championship.
I think they going that.
No, I don't.
I'm a Tomlin fan. I like Tomlin.
Casey and Pitt gonna be stupid.
I like Tomlin.
No, without a doubt. I mean, they already the 6. They beat us the first 6 to 6 rings. You know, so I don't want to see them get no motherfucking ring. Fuck them. When they played Arizona, I was going for Arizona, and you're not supposed to do that.
I'm a Tomlin fan.
I like Tomlin.
Oh, that's what's up. More power to them, bro.
21 for 32 with the Big Ben. 182, 2 touchdowns.
Right.
The receivers on that end was Juju 7 for 66, but he didn't have a touchdown. Ebron and Claypool had the touchdown. I was scared of Claypool in this game. How you feel about him the rest of the way? I think it kind of depends on Deontay Johnson. Claypool.
I'm kind of scared of all of the receivers just because Big Ben just pick you apart. He take the defense,
but they not gonna
about a favorite.
They only play Baltimore one more time, and I'm not scared of it because of Deontay Johnson. As high as I was on Deontay and still is, he's just so in and out that lineup that is gonna give Claypool more time to just continue to build his rapport with Big Ben.
And I think you have to let Claypool stay involved because Juju, you would have signed him if he was your long term. He'd be gone.
But don't get me wrong, that's I'm not worried about him.
I'm worried though a little bit.
The expectations of all of them because 1 week it might be Juju, 1 week, but I don't think Claypool gonna put up a dud.
When I start somebody, I want to know that they could give me at least 15. That's like my number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when he came back with the 1, I was like, ooh, I was disappointed.
No,
he came back with the 14, so I kind of want to see one more game, but I do have to start him in the league next week though, for sure. So I'll be finding out.
Yeah, I've been trying to trade one of my receivers in the 14-team league because I got 4 receivers and he happens to be one of them. on everything. I'm trying to get rid of one of them dudes, either for a quarterback or a fucking running back.
But yeah, Connor, pedestrian with the 15 for 47 and a touchdown. You know what I mean? He got 3 catches, so you know.
I mean, he's
still solid.
He's
still
week,
solid.
Though, yeah.
I kind of feel like that's a lot of the running backs instead of the main ones this year.
Yeah,
like
unless you got
Henry,
Cook or Kamara or Henry.
Kamara, like the running backs is kind of like
Jones. There's only about 5 running backs that's going to
Jones.
kill you.
I mean that injury came out of
back.
nowhere and it's fucked up. I don't know about calves like that. I don't know about a lot of injuries that I haven't had, but you know, to happen, we know that it happened right then for him to not do it, and it's not like it's been lingering and stuff. So, you know, kind of worried about him. But we're not on that game. But are you worried about Connor though? I like his floor.
No, I ain't worried about him. Like I said, they not playing Baltimore every week. He's been consistent damn near the whole year, except for the little game. I think it was one game that he missed when Snell was the number 1 motherfucker on the wire, one of them off top 3 picks, and I think that was week 2. Ever since then, he didn't even miss a game because I think he played that game when Snell was one of the top wire picks, and he came and balled out that game. So yeah, I ain't worried about Connor or everything.
On the flip side, Lamar Jackson, 13 for 28, 208, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. On the ground, 16 carries for 65 yards.
Yeah, I'm worried about Lamar, man. That's why I traded him. He just, I don't know. I was telling y'all they had the little video on Twitter about how Marquise Brown was just open on all these routes throughout the year, and he just overthrown them. He's 24th in completion rate. He's 25th in passing yards. He's 23rd in yards per attempt. He's 14th in passer rating. And they got kind of a tough schedule. It's not really going to get any better. Their playoff schedule was nice, like the fantasy playoff schedule was nice, but if you're in a crunch run right now, you probably stuck with him. A and B, he's not gonna. I don't know if he's gonna get you that production.
Right, and then coming off of what he did last year, he was probably averaging between 75 yards on the ground, 60 to 75 yards on the ground, and he's definitely not doing that this year. And coming into this year, I knew that they wasn't going to allow him to do that, bro. On everything.
Yeah, because the tape was out. Like you have to plan. He's the person you're planning for, and they're trying to keep him they're making him pass, even though he has 16 carries. That's still a lot, and you're not getting it done.
I watched the game.
Like,
they did have more planned runs for him this game that they've had in other games, but I don't know. Just for me, it's the passing. It's the passing that they're not going downfield and he's not hitting on the deep balls.
I will say this with the deadline coming for fantasy trade deadline, it might be a buy low time on Lamar Jackson, to be honest with you, because he got other games, like he got he got Indy. That might be a tough one. I think that's gonna be a tough one.
Gonna be tough for sure.
New England, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, right? Then you go to week 13, 14, 15, 16, Dallas, Cleveland, Jacksonville,
you got
Giants.
a good late schedule.
Like,
if you can hold off, because he's been killing you right now for 8 weeks, you got to hold off for another 3. So if you can,
it just depends on who they got and who you could offer. But I might buy low on him if I could in the league. You know what I mean? If I was in trouble at quarterback.
You already traded him in the league, bro. You not for the buy.
In another league that's not even in that league.
But
I got Henry out of a deal with Lamar Jackson.
You had to take that. You had to take that.
It was a great trade. But let's talk about on the run side. JD, your boy, Gus, the bus.
Oh yeah,
Gus Bus.
He ended up getting a score, had 80-something yards.
87.
You know, they both did their thing, and you know, just leading into that game, we was in the chat and motherfuckers was just talking about Pittsburgh this on the run. You know what I mean? Them motherfuckers gave up a combined almost 200 yards to both of them dudes, and I was just vouching for Bus, but JK did his thing too though, so shout out to both of them dudes doing their thing.
No, you were in the chat saying Pittsburgh can be ran on.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders did it. I wouldn't be scared. You feel me? And he ended up with 18 fantasy points, like you said, the touchdown. JK did look like the better runner, though.
JK looked
You know
nice.
what I mean? 15 for 113 yards, 7.5 to carry. He looks like I think he's going to be what you held on to him for in the league.
He looking
you know
nice.
what I mean?
He looking explosive. He gonna catch. I like Gus too, though. and he's familiar. They like him there. He gonna pound you. He gonna.
Well,
pound
they
you
actually
defense.
don't. He was the only running back to get a catch, and he only had one. So they're really not passing it to the running backs. That's the only fucked up part about their running
But I'll
backs.
say he got the potential. He got the
But
ability. to catch
and
the
I've seen this offense before with Greg Roman in the red and white and gold. You know what I mean? And what Edwards does is what Frank Gore did. Is that downhill runner? You know what I mean? And I've seen Frank Gore completely eating that system, just like how Mark Ingram ate. You know, and Mark Ingram had 12 TDs last year. You know what I mean? And Mark Ingram isn't that outside. You know what I mean? Kind of like J.K. And from what I said, is that Gus is just that downhill dude, and he ripping off that 4.5. I mean, you know.
They lost one of their linemen too.
Yeah, they lost the motherfucking first round
The
pick.
one they just paid big money.
boy,
Stanley or something.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. Get well. They lost him. They just paid him too. But on the are you worried about Mark Andrews?
Yeah, no, without a
Anything
doubt.
tied to catching the ball over there, you worried about?
Definitely. And his thing was that boy had 40 receptions, 50 receptions last year with 10 TDs.
It was
and,
the TDs. That's what it was.
And that was my thing
It
going
was
into
TDs.
this year.
You
That
said it.
I wasn't fucking with it. Just like,
That's what you said?
yeah, I wasn't fucking with it. You know, that's just too hard to duplicate. You know what I mean? And you know, and he that pushed him down in my rankings from the the preseason. But you know, he had a couple games this year that was all right. You know, but I just didn't see it, bro. You know, so I mean, but nigga, that's only their second loss though.
Yeah,
They're like 5-2, so it's not the time to panic.
They're
Only
winning ugly though. That's
Right,
the thing.
but
They're winning on defense.
my thing is that they had just came off a bye going into this game, and them not being able to.
They could have won that game though.
Yeah,
Anybody could have won that game.
Shoulda, coulda,
Like,
woulda. But
that wasn't one of those games where damn Pittsburgh coming to put it on these boys and even after they got the pick early you thought and Lamar came back and scored and got them in the, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
drove them down the field, so it was a good game and they had that game, you know, they both had the game. Pittsburgh came out with it, you know.
yeah,
Let's talk about another hot defense, Miami and the Rams. Is it a hot defense or a bad offense?
No, I think that's
It's a hot defense.
it's a hot city.
That's a hot defense.
And then you going across country. That's a 3-hour difference. That was an early game too. You know,
You
what
said
I mean?
that shit too.
You know,
Yeah, it's tough to play in Miami. They be giving the Pats problems in Miami. They
You
give.
know.
Jetty, you've been dropping gems, bro. You said that on the episode last week, me and you, about the
Right.
Miami game. I picked that defense in the DraftKings. You picked them in the Western game, didn't you?
in the fucking
FanDuel.
FanDuel, everything.
Golf, 35 for 61, 355, a
2
touchdown and 2 picks.
and some fumbles.
That boy Cup had 21 targets.
21 targets.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. And Robert Woods had a hell of a
I mean,
game
they threw the
too.
ball
though.
60
He had
61 times.
Robert Woods had 27 fantasy points.
Yeah, that
You know what I
shit.
mean? Cut 11 for 110. Woods 7 for 85 and a touchdown.
What pissed me off though is them, the Rams being second in the division. Well, damn near was second in the division with going into that game, and then with them losing that early game, I was just hoping that the Niners was gonna win because we would have shot up in the division. Would still have to play everybody in the division. You know what I mean? But you know, back to that Rams game. You know that what fucked me in the league. I just knew that Tua was gonna be trying to slang that bitch, and which he really didn't have to because the defense got up so big on. I mean, they had a punt return. I think they had a pick six.
They had
You know
a
what I mean?
fumble. They had all for touchdown. They was going
They only
crazy.
had 145 total yards.
Right.
The Rams
Two-
had 471.
Wow. And Tua only threw for like 93.
Yeah,
Right.
Gaskin.
Gaskin had
Yeah.
hella targets, so that might be something to look out for. He had 6 targets.
I fuck with him. I'm a Gaskin.
We kind of all been on Gaskin this whole season.
18 for 47 and a touchdown. He had 3 catches for 16, but he was definitely involved. I
He
think
had
he
the targets,
fumbled.
yeah.
That might have been the last. Yeah, he fumbled. I don't know if he fumbled that game. I feel like he did though. This game versus the Rams.
That I don't know, bro.
But I'm pretty sure he fumbled last game for sure. But the Miami's defense looked good though.
Without a doubt.
It looked good.
And Miami holds a lot of keys right now, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
they
all the
paid
draft
Byron.
picks,
Right.
yeah.
They paid Byron Jones to come in to go with Xavier.
Howard.
Howard on my mama. They brought in some of the coach brought in some of the Patriots players that he had.
One of the homies in the chat was talking about earlier, right before we came on. He was like, "Damn, I forgot, I fucked up." Like the coach, he was on the Patriots when they shut the Rams down in the Super Bowl. You feel me? He could have. Oh, he did it again. You know what I mean? He got the keys.
No, he's definitely. And I mean, Miami's on their way up, and then you got to think they came to Frisco all the way across country and whooped us. You know what I mean?
They running the division. They play Arizona this week. Right. They might get them, like you said earlier.
They definitely they trending up for sure.
That's a tough matchup for Kyler for sure. Ooh.
On the low, look at him.
22 got the juice though.
But yeah, though, you know, shout out to the 305 them fans. You know, I only know like 2 fans. Shout out to you know my boy Kenneth Johnson, may he rest in peace, and Big Brass Pizzo. You know them.
Chris Durley, a Dolphin.
Oh yeah, Big Durley on everything. You know, so you know
Daryl Henderson battling an injury. Look for Cam Akers. We'll talk about him in the wire pickup.
He should finally get
for sure. He should finally get something going.
He getting 1 carry and shit.
Let's go to the Chiefs and Jets. Chiefs and Jets.
Man, ain't nothing too much to talk about that motherfucker, man.
The Chiefs, hey, Mahomes did what he, bro. You be dropping gems, JD. Yeah. You was just on the episode. You said Mahomes could come in with 187 and 3 touchdowns in the first half, and he had damn near that, bro. He had 3 touchdowns for sure.
Mahomes, bro, that motherfucker, man. And it was bad weather in New Jersey too, though, bro. I mean, that motherfucker Mahomes, he just gets the job done, bro. You know, and fucking Miko, motherfucking Kelsey had one, motherfucking Tyreek had 2. And you said Robinson, you know what I mean? He's distributing. I mean, I'm mad at the motherfucker because they didn't have to run the ball. Motherfucker, you gonna throw 50 touchdowns, but man, let my boy CH get a little bit of love.
Game, like they was trying to get a point.
Right, they was trying to keep that spread. The spread was, I mean, it was 20 points, 21 points or something like that. Yeah, they wanted that. They wanted to cover that for sure. Fucking A, bro.
Hey, CEH, he'll be fine. Bell looks so bad.
Yeah, Bell don't. That was supposed to be the Bell revenge,
bro. It was supposed to be the Bell revenge,
bro. I was laughing at how bad he looked, bro. Like I'm like, damn, bro. Is this shit in slow motion?
He's a rapper. It's over.
He's a plotter, bro. He's going nowhere fast.
Nobody on the Jets is playable.
Nobody on the Jets is playable.
One person, maybe Crowder when he comes back. But
that's crazy, bro. We can't even spend time talking about that game. It's really like worthless because you know Hill had he had a good game. You know he been quiet at 26 in the last game. I mean this game, so that was a good one for him to get back on track. Hardman is just efficient when he touches the ball. He just doesn't touch the ball enough. He just don't touch the ball enough. You know what I mean? That's the only thing with him. What about another game that was good in the shocker? Minnesota and Green Bay.
Man, bro. I mean, you got Devontae Adams that still, no matter what, is making his case to be the best receiver.
Unstoppable in the red zone, bro.
On everything. That's footwork, crazy, bro. You know, he'll make you dance and twirl, twist and twirl, and do the Watusi.
He's the most underrated receiver in the league.
Yeah, D. Adams is a cold dog, man.
I should have had it. He should have been number 1. You had a number 1, huh?
Who, me?
I had D Hop number 1. I think.
Yeah, you had Adams for sure. You was
Adams a cold dude, bro.
You got Adams for sure.
You know, and AR still doing his thing. You know what I mean? I mean, that was a division game, though. You know, so you know Minnesota came to play. You know, and plus, like how we was just talking about, Green Bay got one of the worst run defenses there is. So, you know, Dalvin, 68 points I've seen in one league. I'm like, damn, bro, that he got almost hit a hundo. Just on his damn self, bro. Everything. But my thing from the Minnesota part was they couldn't get none of they didn't need to throw the ball, but still though, I mean both of them receivers didn't do shit,
Cousins
bro.
only threw 14 times, 11 for 14, 160 at the touchdown.
Yeah, that 160 came on a 50-yarder. Yeah, on the screen. You know what I mean? Shit.
30 for 163, 3 TDs. If you not a Dalvin Cook, if you don't have if you have Dalvin Cook, you should have Madison. If you don't have Dalvin Cook, it's time to drop Madison.
Got Madison.
You know what I mean? That's it. You know, on that side.
Yeah, that game was.
But they'll be all right. Jefferson and Thielen. But you know, we'll talk more on Wednesday with the matchups because we don't know the trade deadline. There has been rumors that Thielen might get traded, but you know, probably not though. You know, but because they're out of it and they paid them the money, and they were talking about the Browns possibly being a rumor spot.
They definitely need a receiver too.
Yeah,
6-3 game. Well, no, the Raiders end up scoring late, but that was a 3-3, 6-6. But that's a little later on.
Justin Jefferson though, like with him and Thielen, I think Jefferson fucks up Thielen a little bit but they both fuck each other up at the same time because there's gonna be probably a lot more games like this where Dalvin's going off if he's healthy. Yeah. So they're not gonna pass a lot. They don't want to pass a lot. They're 2-5. They've been passing all year. You know what I mean? They got to get back to what was working for them.
I mean, they still ain't been passing. That's kind of what.
So that's what I mean when I say they hurt each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, as far as that goes.
Cook really hurt all of them.
That's what it was. Cook was just so hot. Yeah. You know, and then what he set out, 1 game, 2 games?
One or two.
And they just coming off a bye, yeah. So they, you know.
On the flip side, like you said, though, Aaron Rodgers 27 for 41, 291, 3 touchdowns. Jamal Williams 16 for 75. Like we said on Wednesday, we'll talk more about it. But look for Jamal Williams. He's going to be on the COVID list because AJ Dillon supposedly tested positive or came in contact.
I heard about that earlier today.
And look for the whole game, possibly. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. So
I got something for the thing. Like, I'm worried about any receiver going up against Jair. He shut down everybody he played this year. So, and he was on Justin Jefferson. I thought he was going to be on Thielen. I watched that game. He was on Justin Jefferson the whole game. Slot, wherever he lined up, he was on Jefferson.
He wasn't on Thielen. Boy.
Yeah, so Jefferson getting the attention for sure. And I'm damn near benching whoever playing Green Bay, whoever's the number 1 guy.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that.
Unless it's DK or a Hop or something like that, but for sure I'm worried about Jair over there. Jair Island.
Colts at Detroit. Colts 41-21 win.
Man, motherfucking Phillip Rivers, bro. I got Phillip Rivers and didn't even start his motherfucking ass. And if you go to his thing and all you see is green on every fucking matchup from here on to like week 16. Oh my mama, his matchups is so nasty. He's starting to come into his own right now. He was looking nasty in the first 6 games, but the last 2 games, he threw for, I think it was the motherfucking Cincinnati game where he had to come back and he threw for like 380. Yeah. But yesterday he didn't throw for 300 plus, but he had 3 TDs though. I know 2 of them was the Hines and whatnot. But Phillip Rivers is starting to come into that Frank Wright offense. No, is Frank Wright over there?
I don't know if he's still there.
No, Frank Wright is in yeah, nah.
Not a coach.
Yeah, he is the coach. So my mama, he's starting to come into that Frank Wright offense right now, bro. On everything. And you don't got no major bona fide ass receiver over there that's just, you know, doing their thing like that.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know, so
even though Rivers doing this thing like that, it's still not an offensive weapon I trust over there.
I hear you.
Other than Taylor.
And I think Taylor got hurt.
Yeah, he hurt.
Look, I would say this though: Rivers last 2, 35 and 26. But they do play Baltimore, but they play.
And Marlon Humphrey on the COVID too, though.
Yeah. But I think we'll talk about it in the wire, but Jordan Wilkins is going to be a high pickup, especially with Taylor out. Wilkins has been successful.
Yeah, what,
20 carry he gets this year.
About 20 points or
20, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but how many times he carried the ball, though? Like 20-something times.
20 carries for 89 yards.
That's what I'm saying. They was feeding his ass.
Yeah, for sure. And a 24-yard nice one. You know, Hines is one of those, you know, it just depends on the game, but you know, without Taylor, you know, are they going to just be able to put it on Wilkins like that? They will need Hines more than they did when Taylor was healthy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. I mean, at one point in time this season, Hines was a hot waiver wire add too, though. You know, coming off one of them big games like that. You know, so hopefully
he was under single digits for the rest of the time for that. You know what I mean? But Rivers is gonna spread the ball around, so the receivers over there you can't really play that of them. You know what I mean? It's really just a running back in the defense. To be honest, with Taylor gone, that's just how I feel about it. But
maybe Burden, you know,
he started
get looks. You know, without a doubt.
Good catch on that one. Stafford, he kind of been, you know, solid fantasy-wise. You know what I mean? 24 for 42, 336, 3 touchdowns and an interception. You know, Agnew, carry with the carry. Like, what were they doing, bro? Agnew getting a carry.
Yeah, Agnew is nasty, though. He's their returner, though. Yeah. Agnew is a baller.
And Adrian Peterson, 5 carries for 7. You know,
He's done.
Swift with
He's
6 for
Hall
1.
Hall for 110.
Swift 6 for 1.
Peterson done. He's droppable now.
Hey, Hall, like you said, 113, 4 catches. Hawkinson is going to see that with the Galladay injury. Hawkinson is going to see a lot more targets. And you know what? Let's talk about this right quick. Everybody, I see people talking about, you know, the wire rankings, and one of them is Marvin Jones. How? Like, Galladay missed time early in the year and he didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
He only had 3 catches,
But he had 2
for
TDs
39
though.
and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Man,
I
so
mean,
he's
if
touchdown
you like-
dependent.
No, I mean, Jones has been a solid option in fantasy for years.
Right, he had
Especially
like
in
0.
Detroit.
He had like 0 and 3 the first
Yeah,
2
no,
games.
it was
when Galladay
it was
out.
ugly this year, but last year he had 8 TDs on I forgot how many yards, but Marvin Jones has been a solid fantasy player
He
for
might
the
be
last couple.
traded.
If
bro.
you picking up guys,
He might be
this
traded
year, if
today.
guys picking up Gages and Scotty Millers, then Jones is.
But Jones ain't never hit the wire like that. It probably until
Yeah, I don't
recently.
even know how
Till
he's
recently.
right, no,
I'm surprised he's on the
Until
wire.
recently, you know what I mean? They were
That's
on
what I'm
about,
saying.
you know. So I don't know. Marvin Hall, he has been. I guess you could say solid when he has got the chance. So we definitely gonna see what the
No, but I agree
I
with
like
the Hawkinson. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Him getting,
Hawkinson, he's starting to come around now. He
Without
had
a doubt.
10 targets this last game. He kind of going.
Yeah, Hawkinson is somebody.
I got rid of Mark Andrews for Hawkinson and David Johnson.
I did it. That is
Yeah, I said that was a
Hawkinson, too.
bad trade at the time. I was wrong about that for sure.
Let's
Hawkinson
jump
nice.
into Hawkinson. Like you know, he's gonna be the dude that's gonna be the beneficiary of Galladay no matter what. Like that's 100% for sure. Hey, shout out to Slim and Huskies, man. Hey, that's been our like little Monday meal for a minute, man. We've been killing that. I had the little husky tonight. I shared with one of my folks, my grandma or whatnot. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Preem. I got the little shirt too, matter of fact, man. Matter of fact, when y'all get the beer license going or whatnot, man, we definitely we'll let y'all, give y'all the shout out on the. We mess with Slim and Huskies, man, right there in the. I guess it's the Oak Park. It's the Oak Park neighborhood on Broadway, by Fixins. You know they got the whole little. Everything revitalized around there, so go check them out.
That's really
them sauces is nice. Them sauces is killing them for sure. Let's talk about the Browns and the Raiders.
I watched that game, so I got Waller, and that shit was on the TV. That shit was boring.
Boring. What Raider games kind of aren't though?
But I still I still be kind of like I like Jacobs. I always like Jacobs. I just don't like the situation. But Jacobs nice, and he kind of got that Henry in him where he wear on teams.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game.
He wears on teams. 31 carries for 128 yards. He didn't get the touchdown. He got 3 chances at the one damn near. 2 chances at the one for sure. One I thought he was in and he didn't get it. But his value is I was hoping he'd be featured more in the pass game, and he's not. You know what I mean? And if they're down, he's not gonna be effective.
Yeah,
and that's what's fucked up with Jacobs. But their schedule does get a little easier.
Booker been getting a lot of motherfucking touches too, though,
Booker been
bro.
looking pretty good.
He has been looking good.
Sacramento dude too.
That's right.
On everything, It was an ugly game, bro. 3-3, 6-6 for a minute,
Windy as hell.
Right, it was definitely ugly over there. But
nobody really balled. The highest points was 14.
Fucking Hunt killed me. The Raiders was giving up the second most fantasy points to running backs, going into this game, and I just knew Hunt was just gonna fucking ball the fuck out, and Hunt didn't do shit for me, bro.
They all
fucking hurt me.
14 for 66.
Landry killed
it was windy. Did you see how windy it was? Like they
kick,
couldn't throw the ball.
He started that kick at the other shit, and then
it went all the way left.
That's because this was 2 trash quarterbacks. It was windy in KC or in New York.
Nah, it
and
was
Mahomes
a different
was throwing
windy.
through that motherfucker.
That was a
them
different
quarterbacks
windy.
just ain't it.
That's the difference. We talking about Cleveland wind and
Jersey wind.
I know where you see been in the Meadowlands. It's in the middle of it's Secaucus. It's like
next to the water.
inland. No, it ain't. It's inland.
No, I thought it was next to the water.
You gotta drive 30.
They by Lake Erie in Cleveland.
Yeah, I ain't never been.
That it's a different wind. That's by their neighbors in Chicago, bro. That's different wind.
But that's how it be at the Coliseum too, though, bro.
That's
You
how
be
it
at
used
the
to be at
Coliseum,
Candlestick, for
bro.
sure.
On my mama, nigga, it be colder than a motherfucker, bro. That shit
And
is
the
not
weather
cool.
turned quick.
But
It was
that was
below
part of
freezing in Green Bay.
our shit at Candlestick though.
Yep.
You didn't want to play at Candlestick come December
For
and
the
January.
baseball too.
For real,
The
bro.
outfielders and shit. If you could catch a fly ball in Frisco, you catch one anywhere.
Shout out to Kevin Mitchell with the one-handed grab back in
one-handed,
88, 89, whatever it was. Oh, wow.
Landry had the 4 catches with the 52 yards. They're in trouble. They need to trade for a receiver right now.
What's
You
the
know what I
record?
mean?
5-3.
5-3.
Yeah, they definitely
They need to trade, especially with the playoffs extended.
And they're not out of it. That's the
Don't
thing.
trade-
But
don't
Myles
trade for
Garrett
Fuller.
got hurt that game. I don't know what the X-ray said on his shit, but Myles Garrett was gone for damn near like the whole fourth quarter, bro. On my mind, I was listening to that on the radio, and he's a big part of their defense. But they not out of the motherfucking playoffs, bro. I don't know what it is with them. And they were supposed to, that was a statement game for them. You wasn't supposed to let the Vegas Raiders come in there and, whether the game be a shootout or be as ugly as it is, that was supposed to be a statement game for you, especially coming off the loss that you did last week.
Especially it being an ugly game.
Oh, and I think they won last
week.
week.
A team that went in the trenches. And
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That was right up, the Browns' alley low-key, and they didn't get it done.
They couldn't get it done, bro. Everything.
Let's talk about that Tennessee and the Bengals. The Bungles.
Fuck,
31-20 win. Tennessee lost 2 straight. Let's talk about the Bengals side of it first. Joe Burrow, he's still slinging it. 26 for 37, 2 touchdowns, 249. Gio with the fill-in, 15 for 60. Gio 15 for 62 and 1. They go on a bye, so that gives Mixon an option to come back. Another week to come back. On the receiving end, you can still trust Higgins. You can still trust Boyd. Them is 2 startable receivers.
Every week.
Every week.
No, definitely. Without a doubt. I don't mind firing up either one of them if I had them on. I got Tyler Boyd in one of my leagues in the SBI. I was mad that motherfucker was scoring. Because Joe Burrow, I was playing against Joe Burrow in the ALB. So it was kind of hurt me on everything. But,
That sly guy over there is getting it.
The motherfuckers is, you definitely can fire up both of them receivers, bro.
For sure.
They are throwing it. They are putting the ball in Joe Burrow's hands, and he's not giving them a second thought on why they took him number 1. He's everything what they thought they was, whatever he thought that he was. You know what I mean? They just got to get a better defense over there. I mean, but they won the game though. They played against Tennessee, who Tennessee at one point was 5-0, 6-0. You know what I mean? Now they didn't drop 2. I don't know what's going on with them.
That defense is terrible.
They give up. They have the
just
worst.
went and traded though.
They did. They have the worst third down conversion rate on defense. They let motherfuckers convert on third down to extend the drive. If you're extending the drive, then your defense is getting whooped. You ain't getting no breather.
Hey, on a bye week, if Gio doesn't get dropped for a player or somebody they need, which they're probably not going to drop him, if you got Mixon, you should go get Gio. Maybe even send a trade for him. Something small. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get caught in the winter without a winter back. You know what I mean? For sure.
It's coming. This week, too. It's coming.
It's coming. It's
cold
getting
already.
cold, man. On the flip side, Titans, Tannehill.
Corey Davis.
18 for 30, 233, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Like you said, Corey Davis, 128 yards, 8 touchdowns. A touchdown and 8 receptions.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, touchdown, 24 yards, 4 catches. Henry, 18 for 112 and a touchdown. Corey Davis been balling since he been back.
Corey Davis, nice top 5 pick. They got a nice little
Putting it together. He finally putting his shit together, bro. Fucking with Corey Davis. This is a contract year, though. I think his shit is up this year, so he's trying to get some dough.
He better be, because he's been a letdown for sure. Then he get hit with the,
but he was playing with Mariota, though.
Yeah, then he get hit with the COVID. He had 15 and 6, 26 fantasy points the last 2. You know what I mean? I'll take that. He had sat out 2 games, but before that, 17, 12, and 11. Tannehill likes him. You know what I mean?
And they run a lot of plays. They run the ball a lot with Henry, and it seemed like Tannehill always got 20 plus throws. So.
Yeah, and AJ Brown definitely helps him.
Yeah,
without a doubt, because he's not drawing the first corner. So he definitely can. He has the talent to beat any second corner there is. And shit, even the first though. You just said he was a top 5 pick. The boy got game.
He got talent. He got speed. Like them boys can run it. It really it hurt Jonnu.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt Jonnu a lot.
Yeah, that's what this fool was saying on Saturday.
Tannehill kind of going downfield, so
Fisker was more productive than Jonnu, but I think with Jonnu, and I was talking to somebody about Jonnu, and they kind of opened my eyes to that too. Is he was injured. He came back, and maybe they're just not using him as much because when he wasn't injured and having success, for one, AJ Brown wasn't there. You know what I mean? Bring him back, that was going to dip into it. But for two, they were actually running plays for him, getting him into space because that's the type of player he is. And that's where you drafted him at, or that's where you hoped he was going to do. So I think it might be injury related. You know what I mean? Me being a Jonnu owner, I'm going to be optimistic, but that's something to look out for. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's not your only tight end. But I think he's going to get back on track. And like I said, they just dropped 2 games.
Oh, he celebrated. They gave it to him?
I think he might have had possession.
And just dropped it?
We're watching that
Do his hand look like?
He just got to cross the plane.
They gonna
Fucking Gronk is back, bro. That's
very
3 straight
reliable.
games.
He had like 3 straight catches on his drive.
We watching this play right now where Gronk.
Yeah, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a touchdown. He caught it. He slapped it out.
He caught
But
it.
yeah, like I said, that Henry, he's as safe as it's gonna be. But Henry is still quietly being a top 10. I think when we do our.
They be saying he need like 3 steps.
Hey, when we do our rankings this week, Henry is he's my top. He's probably top 2, top 3. I'm gonna have to look at the rest of the way.
I mean,
the rest of the way, Henry.
King Henry.
Henry gonna be number 1, especially for the time of the year it is. Like,
yeah, without a doubt, and he's top 5 in total rushing yards, though. That's the thing. And so here it comes later on in the season where he really just comes on. That's what has been his MO is. Come that last 8 games, that last 7 games is when the motherfucking engine really started getting warmed up. And plus the cold thing is it's back-to-back seasons where he didn't had a 90-yard run. So if we basing off what he did last year, okay, he got the 90-yard run later on in the season. This year he got it early in the season. He does what he does. He might have another 1,600-yard season. That might he's capable of putting up 175 every game.
He's on his way.
He had a 220-something game last year on everything.
Let's talk about New England at Buffalo.
Oh my goodness.
21-24. Cam choked the game.
I wonder if
Fumble.
If he got some side effects from the COVID shit.
Yeah, it could be because before he got COVID, he was looking all
looking
right.
slow and shit, huh? Like he always kind of not slow running, but like slow motion.
Yeah, I
when
don't
he's
know. He
moving,
just like he was playing,
like bounce around.
We was talking about Cam back before the COVID and all
Right.
this shit. Now he's just a different nigga right now.
But the thing is, when Cam was back, those first 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
running.
that's what I was going to get to. They have no outside help for.
It's
that's why Brady left, bro.
He knew. He's seen it.
He's seen it for the last few years that they
never
haven't
get
done
nobody
nothing.
in.
Bro, they picked Harry over all the receivers last year.
Bro.
DK, Debo, AJ Brown.
They haven't done
They
nothing,
was
bro.
tripping.
Oh my mom, I think the only bright spot is Damian Harris, bro.
That's about
On
it.
everything.
Even he up and down though. What he had the last game
Yeah,
before this one. He
didn't
had the 16 for 102 and a touchdown. He looked good though.
Nah, definitely. This is second 100-yard game, and you got to think this is only his first time playing. He was redshirted last year,
He's looked good in every
and then
game.
he sat out for like the first 3-4 weeks. So if we only 8 weeks in, and he sat out the first 3-4 weeks, he's only played 4 games, and he had 2 of them, which was 100-yard games on 15 and 13 attempts. So he's ripping off 5 point something in them 2 games that he had 100 yards on, and he scored in both of them games. No, I don't think he scored in his first 100-yard game, but I know he scored yesterday.
He has 6 yards of carry.
Yeah, Damian Harris is definitely a great ad if you can go get him. I think
He should be been gone though.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
I got him in a dynasty league.
everything. I think that's the only bright spot on offense to me.
Cam is dropped. I seen him on a few wires this week.
I dropped his ass, and I hate to
seen
do
him
it because
on
that's my
few.
dog. I fuck with Cam. That's my guy.
Let's talk about on the Bills side of it. Josh Allen, he only had 11 for 18, 154 yards. He ran 10 times for a touchdown, 23 yards. Singletary, 14 carries, 86 yards. Zach Moss, 14, 81, and 2 touchdowns. What you think about that backfield?
That's the winner backfield right
Moss
there.
right there with the touch, just because he gonna get the touchdowns.
But we
Moss
always
good.
knew Moss was gonna be the red zone guy, right?
Yeah,
Is that what they were saying coming into it?
It just didn't happen until now. We just seen it 8 weeks later, but
He was hurt.
that's what's gonna happen. Now, I mean, Singletary looked good, but he's just probably never gonna get a touchdown.
He's the 20-20 guy.
Yeah, exactly.
On everything,
He
but
might
he's
get a
gonna-
few receptions.
But he gonna eat for you though. You know,
He'll
I
get
like.
you a solid 10, and
No,
you'll be happy with it if you're playing with him because that's what you kind of expect. But like I said, he probably never gonna get you a touchdown. If he get you a touchdown, then
He gonna break
that's a
some.
bonus right there.
Yeah, no, up top.
He got 8 touchdowns this year, but his
He
last
had two,
four,
I think,
his
right?
last four, 3, 5, 5, and 9.
Yeah.
With Moss coming back the last, few.
But they've been down too though. They haven't been looking like how they was in the beginning. But I think by them going into New England and getting that win, and then them playing Seattle, which Seattle, I mean, even if you look when Mullins came in, scored 14 quickly. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
Seattle, I mean, going into, and I hate to, go into being a Niner fan, but, we was running with them the first half. You know what I mean? Seattle's not, the defense did look good. You know what I mean? But with Buffalo getting a win this week, them going and having to play Seattle, and Seattle, I think they got action to get
Seattle at home.
Oh, well, that's even better. You know what I mean? So they got action of getting the engine started right back up from where they was the first 4 weeks.
And they're starting to get
You know what
close,
I mean?
so they might start. And there's something to be said for some pride. I think Singletary he been trashed this last few weeks. He know his spot finna get took. So
Yeah.
But I also
had a good
think
game.
that the Jets, New England, they weren't going to be down playing those guys. Seattle, Arizona, Devin Singletary.
They were down.
I'm saying Devin Singletary, though, is the pass catching back, not Moss.
Yeah,
so
no, I
that's
feel
the
that.
thing that saves Singletary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah.
how many receptions he have? He had what? He only had one. They're not gonna throw it. They're not dumping it.
Yeah, they're not dumping
downfield
it
more
for
than
sure,
anybody.
but-
Yeah, because Diggs had 90-something yards.
Yeah, Diggs,
95.
Brown,
95.
they going
92.
downfield for sure.
6 for 92
Yeah.
was Diggs. Diggs is
Right.
safe. If you can buy, Diggs been quiet. A solid 15,
Oh, damn,
16.
Diggs.
If you can get Diggs, I would definitely.
And that's
play
because
with
the
Diggs.
games have been ugly. Like I said, when they played the Jets last week, the Jets was giving them a run for their money. The Bills didn't even score an offensive TD. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and them is back-to-back divisional games. Every divisional game is going to be tough. You know what I mean? You see these dudes twice a year. You can't stand these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. I mean, even in the game on Sunday, the Patriots had action that went in the motherfucking game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They could've tied
And the
it for
Patriots
sure.
just got their ass, the dog shit kicked out of them the week before. You know what I mean?
Bills ran the ball 40 times
So
Yeah,
yeah.
combined, they're running both of them.
with Allen. With Allen too, 10
Yeah.
times. Like
So definitely,
they're trying to run that. But Diggs had 9 targets. Nobody else had more than 2. So like you said, Diggs is safe, regardless.
Yeah, but
Especially
both,
with John Brown coming off an injury, he had one long play, but he just coming back, so
Yeah.
he'll be effective
And
later.
that
But
run
that
game-
helps Diggs, so it don't
Yeah.
even matter. you
but
know
the
what I
run
mean?
game is what did it for him yesterday. You know what I mean? Both of the running backs went over 80+ yards. You know what I mean? So that's saying a lot.
Let's
That's
talk
saying a
about
lot.
the Chargers in Denver, 31-30. Denver. That was a good game for Herbert and for Drew Lock getting back on.
I think I called it last time I was on here that when Drew Lock come back, like the Broncos players, even though they didn't really do that well, like Judy kind of did whatever. What did Judy have?
He had 10 targets for like 50-something yards, but
Yeah, he had the
he
targets.
led the team in the targets though.
Yeah.
Him and Deshaun Hamilton had 4. Hamilton was 4 for 82 in the touchdown. Judy 4 for 73. Fant
Yeah,
had
he
7
10
catches
targets
for
and 9
47.
targets.
Yeah, how many targets?
Judy had 10.
10.
Fant had 9.
Oh yeah, targets,
Right.
10 and 5.
That's what I'm talking about. He led the team in targets.
Yeah,
So
So I think it's Lock's second game back. So I think it's going to be one of them situations where some Bronco players might win you like some games late because they still going to be playing hard late. All them players is young. They trying to get them real reps in.
right.
And you might get lucky playing Judy, Fant, Gordon, Lindsey, somebody like that.
Yeah, I lost Dak in the dynasty. I had Jimmy
Oh, that's in
G
the dual
and
flex. Double
Super flex.
Super flex.
nah, that's in our dynasty.
Oh.
but
you
I had
played-
Drew Lock. I picked up Drew Lock. He was on the wire.
Yeah, 25
Just
points.
25 points, 26 for 41, 248, and 3 touchdowns and an interception. You know what I mean?
With the game winning
With the
TD.
game winning TD.
I'm loving Herbert,
decent.
bruh.
Lindsey and Melvin Gordon.
Yeah,
Melvin
yeah,
Gordon,
Herbert
8 for
going
26.
crazy.
Lindsey, 6 for 83, 1 touchdown. I get on Kurt all the time for Lindsey, but he's definitely the better.
Okay.
Lindsey's definitely
Is
the
that
better
Ingram?
back. It looks like Lindsey's always the better back, but they, for some reason, never give him the workload, which was kind of curious of why they brought Melvin Gordon in. You know what I mean? Maybe they thought they needed that power punch, both of them, a little more of a pass catcher with Gordon, but on the ground wise, but like you said, Drew Lock slinging that thing.
I think they see what we see though. Like Lindsey was coming off a concussion, so I don't think he was never gonna get like crazy work. I mean, he had 6 carries, Gordon had 8. So yeah, he was kind of coming off injury. I think this next week though, you'll start seeing Lindsey get a little bit more of the touches because it's clear that he looks the best back right now.
They might do the Charger approach though and let Lock fling that thing though. You know what I mean? They ran 14 times, and maybe they're just splitting that with them. So it's kind of like who gets hot. You know what I mean? On the flip side, Herbert, 29 for 43, 278, 3 touchdowns, 2
That
interceptions.
boy Herbert, bro, league winner right there. If you got him, could be. I think he the best quarterback, rookie quarterback. I think he better than Joe Burrow.
And especially if you drafted a quarterback high. It's only one quarterback that you drafted high that's paying off.
Yeah.
Everything.
Rodgers.
And then you got your middle round quarterbacks. The only middle round quarterback that's balling is Kyler. Motherfucking and Russ was a middle round quarterback, but the Dak owners, he's done. You know what I mean? So if you was able to go get Herbert
Jackson.
and build a solid team, you motherfucking right, you got a league winner.
Especially if you either traded away somebody like a Jackson like you did, or you traded away Jackson and Mahomes like I did in the league. One of the guys first ever to do it in the same league.
Yeah.
But it was for Herbert though. You know what I mean?
That's true. You had Herbert, and I feel it. Herbert right now is
29
fantasy points per game. He had 25, and that's more than Rodgers, Allen, Watson, Tannehill, Brady, Jackson, Breeze, Ryan. It's more than all those guys right now. Goff, Roethlisberger, as far as fantasy points per game. Because you can't go by the whole season. He didn't play the whole season.
He's flinging that thing.
Boy,
Bruh.
That's one of my
the
favorite
last
players in the
four,
league right
29, 32, 43, and 27. You know what I mean? Miami, Jets, Raiders, Buffalo, Atlanta, Vegas, Denver again. Like those are cake. Those are matchups where he's throwing the ball no matter what.
No matter what.
And they're showing
even
that's
when
what they're
Eckler comes
doing.
back. Then he even more dangerous when Eckler come back. Because he could just throw screens to Eckler. Eckler just take it 50 or something.
On the flip side, one of the wire people we're going to talk about, Justin Jackson, was the backfield this week. 17 for 89.
Yep.
Plus he got 3 catches for 53. Justin Jackson might be the running back, or maybe it's going to flip-flop with Kelly and Jackson every
Probably
week.
is.
But if you need one, Justin Jackson, if you didn't get him last week, he's somebody great. What about Mike Williams? 5 catches for 99 and a touchdown.
Mike Williams it would be dope to have in the dynasty for next year. Mike Williams gonna be that guy. I mean, he gonna be dope because he the deep threat, he the red zone threat, but he gonna be kind of shaky every other week. But I think he for sure a nice guy to try to get in the dynasty.
Yeah.
I'm just scared of you though. He get hurt a lot, bro. He's shown that he came into it hurt with the back issues. You know what I mean? Deals with injuries. His floor is 0, like he gave you. You know what I mean? But he can boom though, and they're throwing it. You know what I mean?
Off top.
Henry, I'm worried.
Henry ain't did shit.
He ain't went over 50 yards.
This whole
He
year,
ain't went
bro.
over 50 yards, and he got 1 touchdown.
They're going downfield.
They're going downfield. By the time he gets open, they're already throwing it.
It's time to
firing into somebody that got
crazy,
open
bro.
quick.
You got to get a touchdown. He got to be in the red zone.
You know what I mean? It's been ugly for him. I'm worried about him. I'm definitely worried about
So
him.
he worried about Henry and Jonnu.
Jonnu I'm not as worried about as Henry, but I still like Henry, but I'm worried about him because, he ain't got over 50 yards. He's still in. He's still getting
That's
catches.
what it is. He's the odd man
Both of them
out.
tight ends is in similar situations. They going downfield and they the odd man out.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's just the thing about how we was talking earlier. If you got that tight end, man, keep him because this shit is so thin.
Seriously.
And, you getting these Dudleys out of these motherfuckers, or you going to get 10. If you ain't got Kelsey or motherfucking Waller, which Waller didn't do shit yesterday, you know what I mean?
But at least you feel good about playing them every week.
I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I do think that the injury was more of Jonnu. I think that they just dropped 2 straight. Let's get back to what works. You know what I mean? Let's use all of our weapons the way we use them. Let's call plays for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of everybody. That's why I think Tannehill, their defense is terrible, bro. No matter how good Henry runs, they can't keep him off the field. Like they can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're getting scored on left.
They can't
and right.
get off the field.
You pick Tennessee up streaming defenses. You think they're gonna do something in the matchup? They get you negative. They're not doing nothing. You know what I mean? So that plays in the hands of Tannehill. Gonna still have to throw that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Frisco and Seahawks, man. Kittle out for most of the season, if not
for
all.
the season. I think they said 8 weeks.
8 weeks. You know what I mean? Jimmy
Yeah,
G
4
out
or
of
5
there.
weeks.
At
They
this
just need to
point,
see his ass.
it's kind of starts the defense versus the Niners.
Who?
Anybody that they're playing when you're
shit.
streaming, you kind of can if you're streaming started against the Niners. I'm sorry to say, it's like injury after injury.
No,
after
I
injury.
say that.
I think Shanahan's still gonna put up points.
We played motherfucking Seattle. Seattle was scoring 29 a game, bruh.
And they giving up points too. We still had 27.
No, without a
still.
doubt. And this, I mean, just a week before we shut down the Patriots. Not to say anything that the Patriots is just a hell of a team, but you just can't start anybody against the Niners. No, you can't do that, bro.
I said start the defense
Yeah.
against the Niners.
But I'm saying, so last week you wouldn't been able to do that though.
That's
You know what I mean?
no
Because
Kittle, no Jimmy. No,
we didn't have Kittle and we didn't put up points. And I think that motherfucking even though you can't depend on this motherfucker, but the boy
Dwelle.
Dwelle does his thing. I'm talking about the other tight end, the boy that we just brought in. Jordan Reed. When Jordan Reed filled in for him, he balled the fuck out. You know what I mean? He just can't stay on the field. But Shanahan schemes up to where he can put up points no matter who he got in that motherfucker. Who you got in the lineup.
Mullins was a top 15 quarterback this week.
And Mullins came in and firing that motherfucker.
It's our defense.
He was getting his
secondary.
And he was getting it. No, the secondary is all right.
I don't really like our secondary.
Man, Mosley is a
I like
baller.
Verrett. I like Verrett. I don't like Mosley. I like Malozzi. He gonna give up a big play though.
But he not scared neither though. I like Mosley. Mosley is running all the way down there and he's doing his motherfucking thing.
I like him, but I don't like him to start.
But that's because Sherman ain't there though, and he was on the opposite of Sherman.
I like Mosley. He was balling last
if
year.
we had Sherman and Verrett and then Tartan
Sherman's washed.
You know?
good.
I
I don't know if Sherman washed. He
Hey.
ain't covering DK or nothing like that.
Sherman
But shit,
wild.
I mean, he fucking let Sammy get him in the motherfucking Super Bowl though.
Hey, so look with the running back.
Off the line.
So look,
That was Mosley's fault on the Tyreek play.
I mean, but Tyreek is Tyreek
That's
though,
Tyreek,
bro.
though.
Ain't
That's
nobody
Tyreek.
catching Tyreek.
Yeah, but you don't. Exactly. That's why you stay on your deep third and don't let him beat you deep.
I don't even think he's
That's
running
kinda-
with him with a
that's kinda
10-yard
why-
break.
That's why I'm. That's why I don't like Mosley.
Mullins 18 for 25, 238, 2 touchdowns. Hasty 12 carries, 29 yards, a touchdown. The big story there though is Ayuk.
Damn right.
8
Ayuk
catches,
look like
91 and a
Debo.
I've been
touchdown.
all over Ayuk. Ayuk looked like to me he can move like OBJ. Oh my mama. Ayuk
like
has.
That's who they compared him to with the long arms and the
I
after the
think
catch.
he
Yeah.
reminds me of him. Boy, the way that he moves, bro. If we can get
That route that he had inside the 5 to score the
nasty.
touchdown.
It was nasty, bro. Oh my mama. And where he fumbled at too, though. Where they thought he no, he didn't. When he missed it in the he tried to score. He put the ball on the goal line on everything. That boy nasty, bro.
Shanahan, if you go back and watch, like when they in the green room when they draft him, I never seen Shanahan smile like that. Like he was like a giddy, like school kid when
Yeah.
he drafted Ayuk.
They might have could have got him in the next round too though.
They must have knew something. They must have knew
They
like
knew something.
somebody knew him.
I mean, he was Sierra. He went to Sierra
Yeah, he right up in
right
their nose.
before Arizona State.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's close enough for
But
sure.
I think he's perfect for what they want to do. And that boy, he's multi-talented, bro.
I mean, he
what he
led
brings to the field.
the college in yards after the catch.
Man.
So, you know,
And that's what Shanahan like. You got Debo and Ayuk.
it's definitely transferring over this way. On the flip side, though, on the Seattle side, Russ Wynn Wilson, 27 for 37, 261, 4 touchdowns. Before we get into the big story of the night, which was DK. Let's talk about DJ Dallas right quick. 18 carries for 41 yards. Is he a thing, or he's just a fill-in until Carson get back?
It just depends on how long Carson sits out.
Yeah, I like
You
that.
can fire him
Dallas
up,
too.
bro. You can because they're using their running back. They was using Carson in the pass game before Carson.
And he caught one.
Yeah, he did.
5 catches
everything.
for 17 yards.
He had 2 TDs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Nah, definitely. If fucking Gore, not Gore, fucking Hyde comes back, or even fucking Travis Homer comes back, DJ Dallas looked good, bro, and we're good against the run on everything.
Yeah, definitely.
He was doing his motherfucker, but that just shows that Seattle, they putting up 30 plus a game, bro.
The complicated life of Tyler Lockett. Go for
You called it.
gusto,
what you
and
call
then the next week 4 for 33, no touchdowns. DK 12 for 161 and 2 touchdowns. That's what it's gonna be with them. But I think, I've been saying that DK's floor is at 15. Even though he had that 5-point week last week, his floor is 15. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
and he's a boom. But Lockett's floor is single digit, and he's done that 3 times.
Might be number one.
He might be the number one. They laughed at me in the offseason about saying that DK was number 10, even though I wasn't able to get him in the ALB, but
Yeah,
I didn't get him in the ALB.
No, up top. I know motherfuckers that didn't even like him last year. He wasn't the best receiver on the college team.
He only run deep.
No, that's what
You
they
was
were
on
saying.
him. You had him last
No,
year.
up top, but just for what Seattle does and how Russell plays, bro, he fits perfectly into what the fuck they doing. He couldn't have landed in a better spot, even though I wanted that motherfucker to come down I-5. You know what I mean? Fuck it, he's blooming. You know what I mean? You can't be mad at that. And I mean, that's what Seattle does, though. Seattle got a lot of homegrown motherfuckers, though, bro. Look at motherfucking, what's their middle linebacker name? He's been there his whole motherfucking career. And he was killing us
They
yesterday.
miss a lot, too, though. They just make
Who
up
they
for it
miss
with
on?
Russ. They make up for it with Russ.
I don't know who they missed on because they got
Defensive players,
No.
cornerbacks. They drafted a cornerback kind of. They're always in the late first, though, so you know what I mean? But
they be giving up picks, too, though. Trades and shit.
giving up players.
And they
trading
get
for
everybody.
players.
They
Just Russ. He just do it.
No,
But
a lot of
that
them
should be
niggas
better
would-
for him
do
for
that.
sure.
Man, Sherman was a 6th round pick, former wide receiver. Cam Chancellor, motherfucking
we talk about after them. That's why.
Well, I mean, but you're not gonna they've been trying to rebuild their defense and they haven't been able to do it because, like we said, they do pick low, but they don't. I can't even think of the motherfucking inside linebacker name. Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner was a 2nd or 3rd round pick. He's a fucking all-pro linebacker that they had his whole fucking career. Fucking KJ Wright is still there, man. You still got some of that Super Bowl when they won it, and then when they lost it against New England. Some of them 2 dudes is still there. That's part of it. But you can't pay everybody, so some motherfuckers you got to let go on everything.
Draft good,
And I hate to say it because I don't like the Seacocks. I can't stand them. They like the Cowboys to me.
Seattle is an offense. Nobody's giving up DK right now. The window's over. You know what I mean?
Never
But
giving up DK.
Lockett, if I was trying to sell Lockett, I would throw out there that Seattle offense is the offense you want to have. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to move Lockett.
Like,
Yeah,
you
you
still
want a
move
piece of
Lockett.
it?
This could just be a one. Somebody gonna be like, "Oh, it's just a one-time thing."
No, he's had single digits 3 times out of the last probably 4 games. I can look it up for sure. That's what it is. So, but it is what it is. They up and down. But Russ, he's still top 3. I mean, it's really Mahomes. My rest of just to throw it out there now is Mahomes, Kyler, Russ, and Herbert.
Like, what?
The rest of the way, the top 4 quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
That's the.
I mean, Lockett just had 59 last week.
But what he
And
had
then
the games before
He
that.
had 8 and 5. He had to buy it in 8 and 5.
That's what his floor though.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
you can say it's full, but I'm saying he's still definitely. Like you could say he had 59 in the last week, so you could trade him. That's
And
what I'm
he's
saying.
he's in the offense for
Yeah.
Saints Bears. Saints won that one 26-23.
I think. No, my bad.
I was
just gonna say Kamara's the MVP of that team. With
Spinner of the league.
them putting up they 5-2 or 6-2 right now, And no Mike Thomas since week 1. Kamara is the heartbeat of that team, bro. On my mama. And he had like 90-something receiving yards. We already didn't seen him had 120, 110 receiving. You know what I mean? And he's still able to do it on the ground. That boy Kamara is the heart and soul of that team right now, bro.
9 catches for 96 yards.
I didn't even realize that game went into overtime.
Right, on my mama it did. And fucking Chicago had a chance to win the game. You know what I mean? Because I think it went like they only had like 2 minutes left in the overtime. They played them near the whole overtime. Matter of fact, after the Raider and Brown game, they clicked on to the overtime of that New Orleans and Chicago game. That's how I was able to see it.
When we do the revised top 10, Kamara, like overall top, you're gonna be probably like number 3 on my list.
He's gonna be top 3, that's for sure. He's doing it all for them.
Running back, he's gonna be right after Henry. He could be before Henry.
I think he might be before Henry because I think Kamara floor is better than Henry's.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
That because of the receptions.
Yeah, I like.
He getting 10 targets a game, then.
Yeah, he had 13 this game. 9 for 96. You know what I mean?
Like, Kamara really don't even get. Kamara could get 10 carries and you still be happy with
12 for 67. That's what he just had.
That's a lot, though.
Right.
That's a lot, for real.
On the wide receiver side, you can't trust him. I think you can trust, without Mike Thomas, you can trust Cook more than the wide receiver.
Yeah, Cook had a great touchdown.
Taysom Hill caught a touchdown that while
they flanked
he had 2 catches.
Cook out on the outside on somebody, and he just cooked. He literally cooked that motherfucker out.
I mean, that shows how good of a coach Peyton is.
No,
they finding different ways to win. They getting their backup quarterback involved.
They just got their defense better because they know Breeze can't do what they need him to do. They just traded for.
They got Quan. I'm cool with Kiko in the 5th round pick though.
Quan can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. We got to pay him like $15 million in the next 2 years, and the 5th year is where the Niners do their thing with Kittle and
the 5th round.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Get another Kittle or get another Greenlaw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about the Saints and the Bears. We already talking about that. Let's talk about the Nick Foles side.
Well, Montgomery had a good game, though.
Yeah.
Can't pass over Montgomery. Montgomery had a solid game, you know what I mean? He hit for 80-something yards, even though some of the Montgomery owners might be kind of fed up with him. But he didn't score that game. But, you know, shout out to David Montgomery,
It's the opportunity with him. Like, you play a running back. If you look at a matchup, your safest running back to play is the one that's getting the opportunity.
Yeah, you're damn right. I mean? And that's him.
Like, it's a different type of, 9 points. Like, if your dude got you 20 carries and 90 yards, just didn't have a touchdown.
He was only a touchdown away from 17, 18.
Without a doubt.
And
where you got him, he was hurt, you know, going into the fantasy drafts, you know what I mean? So, you know, you was able to construct a great body of a team and then be able to get him, you know, so it might be paying off, you know what I mean? You know, I think that was the only other film. Allen Robinson had a good dub.
Six catches for 87 yards and a touchdown.
You know,
Kev Curse, you knew he was getting on. You should have played him in the DraftKings for sure.
That's the 20 points. That wasn't that major. You know what I mean? But that's what Robinson is gonna do. He can get you single digits. He gonna get you single digits. You know, and I mean, it just depends on what you got. He is the number 1 receiver over there. You know what I mean? So
it's just definitely not what it was last year on that 160 targets that he did, and he had 120 receptions.
Still.
Yeah, but he's not having them big boom games like he did last year though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had 110 receptions with 8 TD. I can't remember how many TDs he had, but he had a hell of a season last year.
I mean, this season ain't been bad.
He's 3rd in targets. He got 77 targets. Stephon Diggs got 79.
He's 3rd in targets, but how many receptions?
And Foles is throwing ducks. Like, it's not getting there.
But what I'm saying,
he's 7th in receptions. He got 50 receptions.
Off of how many targets?
77. So 27.
So it's still efficient, and that's the point that I was trying to drive home is that 160 targets on 110 receptions, that's efficient, bro. So only 50 targets was missed. And you know, he had the whole Trubisky last year. So out of them 50 targets that he missed, how many of those were deemed uncatchable? You know what I mean? A target is a target whether it's catchable or not. You know what I mean?
You know,
so,
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I was just trying to say that, last year was efficient, but you telling me 70-something targets on 50 receptions, that's still an efficient number. How many TDs he got?
3.
Oh, yeah. So,
Well, his fantasy points 12-6. This from the beginning. 12-6, 28, 23, 19. Last 3, 10, 11, and then 20. So, like I said, that floor is 10 to single digits, but he's going to get you that safe 10 to single digits. You know what I mean? And he can get you to 20. He's not going to get you 30 plus whatever, but them 25s, 28s, it matters. So, you're going to take that for sure.
And you like to say winter backs. I think he's a winter receiver. Like, when it get cold and you got to throw sometimes in the snow, he that big target.
That
big
6'5" motherfucker on everything.
He could be a winter receiver that you kind of want.
No, definitely. It's just where niggas drafted him at.
Yes.
You might be a little. You might be frustrated with
I
him.
got him in the 4th, and ALB was the only league I got him in.
Yeah, I remember you. We got you on camera.
He was high on A-Rod.
Well, see, my strategy was get number one options. You know what I mean? To me, I thought DJ Moore was going to be the number one option. It's Robbie Anderson, 1A, 1B, possibly. You know what I mean? Allen Robinson, number one option. You know what I mean? That's just what I went with.
No, I feel it.
When I'm drafting receiver, I look at that quarterback situation now.
So, yeah, but sometimes those ones are gone. And you might be in a need where you went, depending on how you went, 2 running backs or something, you want to get the best receivers with the best opportunity. Mooney kind of picking up steam a little bit. His targets have been there, not the catches, but like I said, it's with Foles. It's kind of like, they want to control the game and play defense. Yeah. So, Montgomery, we just said 20-something carries. They want to run the ball. You know what I mean? When they do get Robinson and those guys involved, it's going to be because they have to. You know what I mean? Or they're going to design some plays that they run a lot of those little screen routes and shit like that just to get people in space. But let's talk about really Dallas and Philly. That shit was so boring. I turned it off in the second quarter. This is how I watched that game. Siri, Dallas Eagles score. That's how I watched it. I just wanted to see if it was going to be a close one.
That shit was on mute.
I couldn't watch that shit, bro. I couldn't even tell you what happened.
I think that game is just solidified, especially for me, having a chance to go get Fulgham and not getting him because receiver is a position of need for me. Not regretting not going to go get Fulgham when he was on the wire. On my mama, Fulgham is that guy over there. Even with Rieger coming back, even with Goddard came back.
Fulgham solidified.
He's been solid ever since the 49er game. And that's when he caught his first touchdown.
Fulgham is this year's Scary Terry.
Yeah. And they got it. And they're number one in the division with 3 wins, 4 wins on everything. And, they starting to get healthy and whatnot, Byron Scott, Boston Scott, great fill-in for
Boston.
My bad, big I apologize, big bro.
Big B Scott.
Big B Scott. That's what it is. Great fill-in. You know what I mean? Other than that, Rieger did his thing first game back.
Yeah, he had a touchdown, 3 catches, but he's gonna be somebody that's solid though. Him and Fulgham is a nice little tandem to have because. At the end of the day, Wentz is still gonna throw it. Not that game as much, but he's gonna be throwing it around.
That defense.
Sure. Is it no? Hey, trade Zeke, bro.
ASAP.
Trade Zeke. That's all I could say about Ezekiel. You know what I mean?
Boom. Ooh.
It's ugly. We're gonna jump into the wire rankings. To give y'all, some news you can use this week, man. And then we're going to round it off.
Yeah, I'm fucking with Gus, bro, right off the rip. I've been saying Gus for a few weeks.
I was looking at Gus before the game started.
He was on the wire for you?
Was it? I think Gus was there last week because they had a bye.
Oh.
Gus was on the wire to pick up for sure.
Yeah, wow. I could have got him as a free agent. And I was like, damn, I don't know who to really drop. I couldn't put Mixon on the IR yet.
I hate when you can't put the motherfucker on the IR. That shit pisses me off.
Yeah, man. He had been out for 2 weeks and shit.
That's like with Galladay. You can't put that. He's still maybe by tomorrow.
Nigga, they had motherfucking Miles Sanders playing. I didn't take Miles Sanders out until like Saturday because he still had the questionable or something on him. Yeah. On my mama. But I'm fucking with Gus though. I like Gus as a great ad because it shows, even though that J.K. had the more attempts, and motherfuckers saying that Pittsburgh woo woo woo, man, they showed that they both have value and they're both gonna get the ball, bro. Yeah. All three of them got the ball when fucking Henry was there. Like I said, if it's 3 people with 10 attempts, now you got 2 people, and they both. I don't know exactly how many attempts they both had, but they both went over 80 fucking yards, bro. They could easily. They both gonna eat in that offense.
He got 30 carries over the last 2 games and scored in each of them, so he ain't going nowhere. And Ingram probably gonna be he gonna be questionable for week 9. So
yeah,
I for sure.
No, I'm fucking with Bus as one of my ads on the motherfucking wire, bro, for sure.
But that's how I feel about Hasty too. I know he don't got the sexy numbers or nothing like that, but I'm a Niner fan. And I be watching the game, and the nigga with the dreads, because that's what I said at first. I was like, who's this nigga with the dreads? Like a couple weeks ago. That nigga, he be busting, bro, and Hasty nice. And Wilson out, McKinnon, they said McKinnon got tired legs.
Man.
They ain't even gonna give him.
I was mad that McKinnon scored on that motherfucking play. That would have boosted my FanDuel up. Oh, wow, you fuck motherfuckers. You want to get up with, then he come back right back in. Everything, but Hasty scored early, and we had a question on our Saturday show that we did. We had somebody ask us, who would you rather, Jamal Williams or Hasty? And I went with Hasty just being a home run, but they weren't too far. I mean, no, I think Jamal Williams.
I said Williams because it's temporary.
But I was going off of what I seen in the motherfucking Carolina. I mean, in the New England game, the way that Jeff Wilson was crushing them dudes and him going down, in the way that the 49ers play their offense, I just knew that Hasty was going. But see, that was before Coleman got activated. You know what I mean? True. McKinnon didn't do nothing in the motherfucking the Patriots game. So I'm like, yeah, you motherfucking right, Hasty. And what Hasty did when Wilson finally went down, Hasty had 60-something yards on 8 carries in the motherfucking in the Patriots game. So going into the Seattle game, where Seattle giving up cheeks, I just knew that Hasty was gonna get the bulk of the carries. You know what I mean?
If he's getting carries, he's RB2 this week to me.
Yeah, he's gonna get him because Coleman out.
And I look at Shanahan in a Niners situation like Andy Reid. Whoever the running back is, I'm picking him up.
Yeah,
period.
100%. I'll say this: if I'm saying I need a running back, you got to make the choice for yourself. But my top 3 running backs, and I probably put them all in the same category, is Gus Edwards, DJ Dallas, and Cam Akers.
That's your order.
Yeah, I'm a model. I'm a monitor the Darrell Henderson injury. You know what I mean? And they do have a bye, so probably not this week. If it's bye week time.
Yeah.
So if you need a running back right now, you can't pick Akers. You might can pick Akers up. If it's not a desperate person, you might could pick him up Sunday, possibly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they're not playing.
For if you
know what I mean? But
down the road.
Yeah, but Gus and DJ Dallas, because I don't believe Carson. Carson, he just gets hurt, bro. He's shown time and time again that he's gonna get hurt. If DJ Dallas keep doing what he's doing, 18 for 41 in the touchdown, in that offense with a catch and a touchdown, he caught a reception. Man, give me DJ Dallas.
Yeah, I like Dallas, but I'll have them in my 3 too. But instead of Dallas, I have them 4. I fucking with Wilkins.
Shout out to the SBI League, and Bogey Invitational.
See, I got that motherfucker in the Run Boys Office League right there, and I just whooped one of the first place team, second place team. He's 6-1.
It was on Bradbury too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fucking with Wilkins because he out-snapped Taylor this last week. Kind of looked better than him. Taylor hurt. And Taylor might be on kind of the same shit that McKinnon is on, kind of some tired legs. He a rookie. He might be hitting a rookie wall right now. So I think Wilkins, and he looked fresh. He looked explosive. I don't think Hines will ever lead any team in carries. So he like a receiving third down back. So I like Wilkins.
You know what? Sure. You right. Cam Akers was a stash. I would take Wilkins over DJ Dallas.
Yeah, for right now.
I would take Wilkins over DJ Dallas for right now. But long term, I like DJ Dallas though.
Dallas and Cam Akers for the long term.
Yeah, I like the tuck. What about on the receiving side? Are you buying the Marvin Jones? We just talked about it this same show. I ain't on the Marvin Jones hype. He gonna let you down.
The opportunity is there for sure. You know, it just depends on how long motherfucking Kenny Galladay is out. You know,
he gonna be out a few weeks. He might go to IR, bro. They talking about a hip flexor.
Oh, yeah, that's ugly. I think it's who would you want over Marvin Jones that's on the waiver? Mooney?
Lazard.
He coming
I'd take Lazard. I'd rather have Rieger over Marvin Jones.
I'm messing with Lazard.
I'd rather have Sterling Shepard. He only got like 8 points right now, but I think I might rather have Sterling Shepard over Marvin Jones. I had Marvin Jones in the SBI league that we're talking about. I dropped him a long ass time ago, bro. Like,
he's streaky though.
Yeah,
he might have them games that he get a couple games in a row with a couple touchdowns or some shit, or a touchdown every game for 3 or something.
If I was a betting man, I would bet that he duds next game. 5 or less. It's like
5 or less, bro. That's fucked up.
I'd take Curtis Samuel over him.
I like Samuel, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What I seen on Thursday night, the way that they was, you know, dialing shit up for him, man, I like what I seen from Curtis Samuel. Plus, I got Robbie in AO. I don't got Robbie in Ashy, but somebody already got Curtis Samuel on the wire in Ashy. On everything. I might have to go get him. Real talk. I like Curtis Samuel, bro.
So you taking him over Marvin Jones?
Yeah, I'll take him over Marvin Jones. Definitely.
Who else y'all got?
But I just picked up Rieger in that league on Sunday night. On everything.
I had him in Ashley. I had to drop him though. I fucked with Logan Thomas for the Redskins, especially for the tight ends right now, because especially if you lost.
Dwelle, go get Dwelle, y'all.
I'm liking Logan Thomas.
He
played the Giants, the Lions, the Bengals, and the Cowboys the next 4 games. I'm messing with Kyle Allen and Logan Thomas connection.
I ain't mad at that. Real talk.
I don't mess with Mullins. Like, he played good against Seattle, but it wasn't the same defense Jimmy faced. They was blitzing Jimmy. They stopped blitzing Mullins. They just let him do his thing. I think all the people gonna be hyped saying play Mullins over Jimmy now, and it wasn't the same type of game. I think they both suck.
Yeah, but Mullins is a capable quarterback. That's for sure.
He's capable. He's one of the better backups in the league.
For sure.
For sure.
I think I'm a. If you got a roster spot, I think I'll take Hartman. I'll take Mecole Hardman.
Oh yeah, I think he should be gone though off the wire.
He's on the wire in some leagues for sure. He's had a lot of single digit games, yeah. but I would take him. But as far as my wide receivers, if the Packers don't make a trade by tomorrow, I would stash Lazard if you haven't already stashed him on an IR spot, which you should have if you're in a league like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got any other wire guys?
We talked about Corey Davis.
He should be gone.
If he not gone,
he should definitely be gone. You got somebody, JD?
Corey Davis
for what? Wide receivers?
Wire ranking, just period.
Fucking Kendrick Bourne with Debo. Debo gonna be gone. Kendrick Bourne had a solid game yesterday, bro.
KB.
On everything.
I thought about picking him up earlier in the year when Debo was hurt.
You know, bye weeks, man. On everything. Real
Jordan Reed for sure.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely go get Jordan Reed too. Like I said, man, I like that tight end position in Frisco. You're gonna get opportunities. You know what I mean?
It's a big tight end week. You could go Dwelle, I guess, but I like the Reed, the Logan Thomas, and the Trey Burton.
Yeah,
this week.
Off top.
Well, look, man, that's our wire advice for y'all. Our week recap. We watching the Buccaneers and the Giants game right now. Danny Dimes threw a pick with his dumb ass. They look like they could have been in field goal range. Then Brady ends up scoring to Mike Evans. You know what I mean? Scotty Miller looked good, but Brady, you know, he's one of those safe guys. There's not really much you can say about Brady. The report, you seen the report saying that AB's staying with him, right?
Is that right?
He's staying with him at the crib. I'll send it to you.
He's staying with Brady in Tampa. In New England.
Wow. You know, Brady probably got his family out there, so he tucked. He on business. This business. I'm gonna go win with another team. You know what I mean? They almost let the Giants get him in this one. You know what I mean? So
That's federal, my nigga.
AB
It's
gonna be
staying,
there.
man.
AB
Yeah.
chilling, bro. What you
Yeah.
mean? That
Yeah.
nigga, like, they gave me a second chance after they tried to blackball me. I get to go with Tom and no Kraft.
It's time to go to work,
Bruce
bro.
Arians, he old as hell. You feel me? He trying to get
Arians
that
do not
shit,
fuck with
bro.
him, bro.
He don't
Arians
fuck
say-
with him, but he like
Arians
fuck
say
it.
every chance he get, if you ain't on ship, he out of here. That
Man,
nigga Tom Brady
he's on
made that
shit.
happen, bro.
He's on
Come
shit,
to the
bro.
house, bro.
He don't fuck
You can
with
talk your
Evans
shit,
and Godwin,
man.
bro.
Hey, Brady, I wonder how Brady
What you
in
wanna
his
do,
rooming
bro?
with Brady.
Hey,
Is he
that-
going in his room just
Bro,
tucked off?
That nigga AB
Or is
come
he
to work.
just chilling,
He's coming to
watching
work,
film
bro.
with AB in the
I'm
living
telling
room?
you,
Like,
bro.
put your phone away, man. Come on,
Bro,
put your phone away.
they going to the field, bro. ASAP.
Hey,
He
put your
know
phone
AB
away, bro.
coming
We're
to
going to the
work.
backyard, bro.
Let's
Put
do
your
it.
phone away. You know what I mean? He's like, let's focus. You know, you want the ship?
That's why
you
you
know,
want
wanna
him.
be, come on.
He
you
don't
know?
gotta do that. That's why you want him. Mike
Are
Evans
you
and
scared of
Godwin,
Mike Evans and
Them niggas
Godwin?
miss too much practice, bro. Tom, like, I need AB, bro. AB coming to work.
I need somebody timing that's going to
AB
be
don't
there.
take no time off, bro.
AB playing with the chromium on his feet. What was it? The
Yeah.
what's the shit called?
Right on.
Yeah.
Frostbite.
Frostbite,
Pick a bucket, whatever.
cryotherapy.
Right, cryotherapy.
He coming to
Right.
practice.
Right.
Practice AB there. He go, hey.
And AB how he practices is how he plays, though. That's what
I ain't never seen nothing like it, bro.
that's what separates him from every other receiver in the game,
That
bro.
nigga scores a touchdown every rep, bro.
I didn't
Every
think he was
practice
gonna get
rep,
another
bro.
chance. And just the fact that he's getting the chance
With
is like,
Tom, bro.
damn.
The
you
illest
feel
in the
me?
game, bro.
AB, what you got to rank the rest of
You
the way?
can't wait till he
Man,
comes
he's
back.
number one, bro.
So,
Nah,
Mike
nah.
Evans is it's over
He's
for
never-
him.
I wonder
He's
what's
gonna-
the-
we
what's
gonna
the
see it
prop
on
bet
Sunday.
that AB finished the season.
Hey, with 10
I gotta
TDs.
see that.
He
No,
gonna
I'm
have
talking
10
about
oh.
finish the team, like
How many
not
games?
suspended, bro.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Nah,
finish
he
the
gonna play
season.
all 8 games, bro,
He
including the
gonna play.
playoffs.
He definitely gonna
He's
play.
playing, bro.
Oh, let's talk about this right quick while we on this game. Ronald Jones with 7 carries for 23 yards right now.
Before that got.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt if you got those two. Fournette only got 8 points, 10 carries for 40 yards.
Yeah, they're starting to cancel each other out.
Yeah, but Fournette is starting to come with the receptions too, because I think the game before that he had 50 and 50 or something like that, 60 and 50 or something like that, and Fournette had a nice catch on in this game too. I know it's only one catch; he probably got a couple more receptions, but Fournette is showing that he can catch that ball, and I think he's a better threat on the ground as well. Even though Ronald Jones, like I said, I think last week or the Saturday we did the Swiver Swerve, he was top 5 in rushing without a doubt going into like week 6, week 5, something like that. So he has been consistent, but I think that Leonard Fournette is just a better back than him, bro.
Nah, yeah.
On everything.
Hey, Gronk, 14 points so far. He just made a catch right now.
It's 3 straight games with a TD.
4 for 41 and a touchdown. Gronk, 18, 17, and 14 so
Yes,
far
sir.
his last 3.
Yes,
He's
sir.
top 5 tight end damn near them last few weeks.
And it's only gonna continue to
You
get
was
better.
on him and we was
Oh,
laughing.
no, I'm telling you. Like I said
We
last
was
week,
laughing.
I said last week, niggas laugh at me all the time.
We
but I
laughed
don't
at
give a
Aaron for
fuck.
drafting him.
Do you have any leagues?
I had him. I dropped his
Hey,
ass.
what you mean.
You dropped it. Hey.
No, I had him. I had Grunt on my mama. I
Aaron
had
drafted him and we laughed. He said, "Where's all the noise on that one?" You feel me? He
You still got him, though.
Well, I think he picked him. I think he was able to pick him up again. I don't think he held on to him.
Nah,
I think
he
he
held
had
on.
the
He held on to him?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He was playing him when he
Yeah,
wasn't
he's
playing.
been
but
playing him, bro. He's been playing. Look, there go Fournette.
he ain't had
But yeah,
no
man, like I
choice.
said, we're gonna get y'all, man, that Wednesday. We're gonna come with y'all with the live stream on the StreamYard, giving y'all the week 9 matchups, and we're gonna give y'all a few topics that we're gonna talk about as well. Get y'all through the fantasy week, man. Y'all got anything to say on the way out?
Nah, shout out to the people that fuck with us.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. One love to you niggas, man. And, you know, we see the love for sure.
Got
You
real
know what I mean?
subscribers, real viewers, all
Off
the shit.
top,
So,
you know, real questions.
yeah.
You know, the whole
That's
shit.
love.
And, you know, we, like he said on Wednesday, and, you know, we sorry about we couldn't do our last Saturday show that we had planned, but we got the Saturday show for y'all to call in and, you know, not call in, but get on the stream with us and, you know, say whatever the fuck you want to say. That's, you know, that's part of what the Heart2Start is to have you niggas get in and fuck with us though.
Tap
You
in,
know,
bro.
it ain't on no
Real
high
shit.
power shit, man. We is the people's podcast though. We do this shit for the culture, bro, and the culture is what we represent, what y'all fuck with us for. You know what I mean? So, you know, we gonna be bringing that to y'all too though, bro, and we hope y'all take advantage of it to talk your motherfucking shit, you know, and say what the fuck you gotta say. You know what I mean?
Definitely appreciate the listeners, man. We're going to keep y'all engaged, and we're going to keep giving y'all content and, you know, improving every day, just like we hope y'all notice. You know what I mean? Heart2Start Fantasy Podcast, man. Back at you.